I'm Kate Kruger, and I'm Talking Guns, and I'm from SHOT Show, so I'm having a blast. It's really kind of been a lot of fun.
Great show.
Now, I'm really honored, and I think this is going to be a cool interview. I'm sitting here with EJ Snyder. For those of you who do not know who EJ Snyder is, he is a TV survivalist. He's a motivational speaker, but you guys will maybe recognize him from different angles for Naked and Afraid. And I recognized him from the Dual Survival.
Yep.
Dual Survival.
Dual Survival.
Dual Survival. I enjoyed that. Jimmy and I used to watch that show all the time. You're here, and you also do survival training and consulting.
Do survival training, do consulting. I consult with Discovery Channel on several shows. Work with the Naked and Afraid casting and interview people to see if they got just the skills that's required to get out there and survive naked with just one item, which is pretty intense. And,
I guess it must be.
Yeah.
That just was something. I'll give it a shot and take a look at it.
I appreciate it.
You know, I've got to go see what this is all about. I just could not fathom watching naked people running around in the
Most people
woods.
can't. And a lot of people say, hey, why naked? The main reason is clothing's your first layer of shelter. You take away clothing, you expose yourself physically to the elements as well as psychologically.
Wow.
You bare yourself to the world, and when you take away your clothing, there's nothing really to hide behind. There's nothing else to see.
Wow.
So,
I guess I hadn't thought of it that way.
and everyone's like, well, you went naked 3 weeks. What did? I was like, I felt worse for the camera guys that had to film me the whole time. Look at me naked, because I didn't really. After a while, I wasn't really caring too much.
Oh, that is too funny. Now, you're here at SHOT Show. You're working with Top Knives,
Yeah, Tops Knives.
and they're the ones who actually make the knives for your survival.
Yeah, they make hundreds of knives. They're a mass custom making knife company. They're based out of Idaho Falls, and so everything's USA made. My knife, the original knife I designed because my knife broke in Africa. I was tough on it, no excuses. When I got something in my hand, it better be as tough as me, and you better be able to count on it. So I designed the SXB, Skull Crusher Extreme Blade. It's a survival fighting knife. It's a pretty beastly blade. It's got about a 9 3/4 inch blade, overall 15 plus inches. But it's a one-tool option. People say it doesn't exist. Check it out at topsknives.com. Go look at my SXB. Well, this year we're releasing a compatibility blade to go along with it. It's a smaller, can be a neck knife, can be a side knife to go with the knife. It's like my knife birthed this little guy. And every good action hero needs a sidekick. So it's called the Skull Crusher Extreme Sidekick. So check it out at topsknives.com. We're releasing it this year.
That's awesome. And you have great advertising for them, too, because you beat the caca out of all of this stuff.
Oh yeah, if you're trying to brand yourself and get things ahead, it's all about mindset and how do you project it. And if you're passionate about things like I am in life, I designed this knife and tested it for a year. And when I went out on Naked and Afraid XL, the 40-day challenge, I actually tested it in the field for its final test before I came back and said, this thing is ready to go. So I really put a lot of my heart, sweat, and tears into stuff when I do.
How did you get into survival?
Survival was something, as a kid, my dad took us out in the outdoors quite a bit, and I really love the outdoors. I grew up in Jersey, so on the weekends, we'd head out.
Another Jersey boy.
Yeah, and you wouldn't think it. How's this kid from Jersey, growing up in tough Italian neighborhoods, wind up being this crazy survival guy? So I joined the Army at 19, spent 25 years in the Army, but while I was in the Army, I was a Ranger instructor, and I was a primary survival instructor. So they sent me to formal survival training in the Army, and I just fell in love with it. I wanted to be able to take care of myself if bad times came, take care of everyone that was around me, and it became my passion. And I started teaching others outside the Army, and then when I got out of the Army, I taught at the Special Warfare Center for 5 years at the SEER School, and taught basically Green Berets and other soldiers how to survive behind enemy lines. I was dabbling in some TV, Discovery found me, and I was able to go do something I love and get a mass media audience that I can help teach people to survive and get paid to do it. Because there's 3 things on this earth you need to know how to do. Swim, because it'll save your life from drowning. Basic first aid, because you can save the life of another. And basic survival, because it's all encompassing. And I believe that passionately. So I train it, I travel for training, I do seminars. I was over in the UK last year teaching kids survival. I'm going to go back.
Oh, that's excellent.
Yes.
Especially there.
And I've been doing some women's program, women empowerment here in the States. I'm planning this year to go back to the UK, and I just got a request to go to Italy. So I'm going international with my survival training. It's my brand of survival, which is it's a skull-crushing sense. It's like common sense with an edge, because it's everything in life's about mindset. I don't care if you're fighting a life-threatening illness. I don't care if you're doing bad in school, you're getting bullied, you're trying to fight an addiction. You've got to have the right mindset in everything you do in life. If you don't set it.
Now you've got a new program coming up.
I absolutely do. You know, not only do you know me from Naked Afraid and Dual Survival, but Ed Stafford challenged 6 survivalists, 3 Americans, 2 Brits, and a South Korean, to challenge him in a survival race in Southeast Asia, in some part there. I wound up going to Thailand, northern Thailand, and it was a 5-day, 60-kilometer survival race where it was just him against me, or me against him, whichever you want to call it. And it's a lot of survival on the fly and trying to pace yourself through really, really tough terrain. And I knew in testing myself and pushing myself hard, I'd give Ed what he asked, which was to push him. So I think we both pushed each other because we're good friends, and it was very chummy, as he would say, little race. So it comes out February 21st is my episode.
Brit, huh?
Yeah, he's a Brit, and he's got a real tough accent to understand sometimes, but so I'm glad they have subtitles, but I didn't get to see him when I'm in front of him. But my show airs on Discovery Channel February 21st at 10 p.m. But I think the premiere starts on the 31st. And so you're going to have 2 other great Americans out there racing along my side. Matt Graham, who everybody knows him from Dual Survival, Dudes Are Screwed, and he had his own show. And then Kat Bigney, who was on The Great Human Race, and Bushcraft Build-Off, which was Matt Graham's show. And then you're going to have John Hudson from Dudes Are Screwed, a guy named Aldo Kane, who's a Scot. He's a world adventurer. And then Ken Ree, I think Ken Ree is from South Korea. He's a South Korean Special Forces guy.
That's going to be a heck of a show.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. I was the oldest guy in the cast, representing us seasoned folks.
Seasoned is a good word.
At 52. Ed is about 10 years my junior, and he'd been getting in pretty good shape for it. And they called me up and said, "Hey, Ed wants to race you." I'm like, I'm not the starter. I'm the closer. I'm the skull crusher. And they're like, "I'll see you in 5 months." I'm like, "No, we'll see you in 5 weeks. You're going to start." And I was like, "Oof." So it wasn't the greatest shape of my life getting there. I'll admit that. You always need to be ready because you never know when you're going to get the call. But I went there and I gave them all I had, gave them, my best effort. And, I looked him in the eye and said, we don't know. I may beat you and I may not, but you're going to remember me, buddy.
EJ, you are amazing.
I appreciate it.
And this has been a surprising interview.
Oh, that's great.
And a lot of fun. And I love being surprised.
So you got my knife coming out. I've got a new line of survival food. I was unprepared to bring it with me, but it's going to be on my website, www.ejsnyder.com. It's Skull Crusher Survival. It's a dehydrated food, 25-year shelf life. But when you get this stuff, it's got more servings than the normal. It's got no additives, no preservatives, all natural, and animal protein used for our protein. So really good stuff. Really excited about the year ahead. I've got some options for some TV coming up, maybe my own show.
Excellent.
First Man Out comes out, and I'm getting ready to write a book. So go to my website, ejsnyder.com. You can call me up, just message me. And I do guided treks and teach survival, and I'm just all over the map. But
I want to tell everybody, you got to check this guy out, because when somebody surprises me, I'm good to go.
I appreciate
and
that.
he truly did. So check this guy out, and you got to watch this show that's coming out. And I'm actually going to go out and watch Naked and Afraid now.
Season 1 and Season 2 first. Those are mine.
Will do. I promise to stay in order.
So, and whenever you see a guy with a big brow and his calloused knuckles from Knuckle Dragon, don't judge him. Because cavemen need loving too.
You guys have a great day. I'm going to bring you more from Short Show. EJ, thank you so
Thank you.
much.
It was a real pleasure.
It was
Appreciate
a pleasure.